Hey, friends. I'm your host, Dr. Elizabeth Ssemanda, the intuitive psychiatrist, and you are listening to Stepping into Soul Power. So today we have an amazing guest. I will tell you that there are not a lot of people who do what she does. And in many ways, she's a breath of fresh air. We have been waiting for better care, honestly,
Yeah.
whole person care, care that it goes beyond looking at symptoms and really gets into not just body, not just mind, but spirit, whole person care. And she embodies this in so many different ways. She's a naturopathic doctor, Reiki master, a medical intuitive. She's a visionary that has co-created the household medicine series and is stepping into this sacred frontier where she blends intuition, medicine, and soul. Dr. Aubrey Wallace, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's so wonderful to be here.
Yeah, so when I hear your story. You embody what healer is. This body, mind, and spirit approach. And so I'd love for you to tell us how'd you go about getting on this path of weaving together naturopathic medicine, intuition, and energy work.
Absolutely. Well, actually, I come from a lineage of healers in my family. We have Scottish women who have been doing strange healing for many generations. And I came to it. I was always a biology nerd from early on, but my aunt Ray, actually, who was a very dictatorial human, demanded that I come into her kitchen one day and said, "Aubrey, sit down." And I sat down and she said, "I have this thing on my arm and I want you to make it go away." And I was like, "I don't know how to do that,
Yeah.
at all." I was in high school. And she said, "Just do it." And so I put my hands on her arm and I knew I wasn't getting out of that kitchen until something happened. And
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
just started to kind of I guess pray, I'm not sure the right words, but I just was like, "Help, help me. I'm never getting out of here." And so I felt my hands heat up really hot, and then I had this sense of like something was finished, and I let go, and this she had had a like a quarter size lipoma, which is a big kind of bump on her arm, and it was gone, like it disappeared
Wow.
entirely. And so I got really afraid and kind of went away from that and pretended it didn't happen. And then she came back right at my 18th birthday and she said my physician wants me to have a knee replacement and you're going to fix that. And I'm like, "No." But she had me hold on to her leg and my mother helped me with that one and my mom wasn't doing healing at the time, but we both just held on to her for about an hour and then she actually walked away with no pain. And I had severe pain for about 2 hours in my opposite side leg. I couldn't walk. And so at that point, I was like, I have to understand what this is because I was very
Yeah.
much a science-brained person, and I dove in. And so I think that started my journey to learning, which went all the way through physician. Um, and the healing part has always kind of been there underneath. The medical intuitive for me was really birthed after naturopathic medical school, and school was very intense, as you probably know. And when I came out, I really needed to reconnect to my own spirituality. And my guides gave me a system to work with there so that I could kind of integrate those two parts of my being and get them together and working as I went forward into my career.
Nice, nice. Just
So,
to take a step back, what do you think what now that you've got this training, what do you think was going on when you did that when you were 18, did the healing work and you had severe
yeah.
pain? What do you help us understand? Because we're like, hmm.
What the? Yeah. Um, I still to this day don't know exactly what happened there. I think part of it was a collaboration of beliefs. My Aunt Ray was very strong in what she believed. And I
Mm,
think to put us to where two are gathered, I have found works pretty well. I think all bodies have a capacity to heal themselves. It
mm,
just takes collaborative healing approach between two humans to remember that the power, where the power lies, right?
mm,
And so I still to this day, I've always been a very strong empath. And I did believe that I took her pain onto my body at that time. And I don't think, and I don't recommend that. So it took me, that's why I teach empathic hygiene so that people don't, it's somebody's pain is their gift. People's
mm.
pain is their gift. People's symptoms are their gift. They help them to come back and heal the deeper aspects of themselves. So even though some of us may have these strange abilities we don't understand, I do think healing actually comes from the connection with the self and then a surrender into allowing that internal power to reset or reaffirm what's already there. I don't know if that made
Oh,
any sense. Hopefully it did.
it made a lot of sense. It made a lot of
Yeah.
sense. And you said something. You said empathic pain, like not taking on
Mhm.
other people's stuff. So
Yes.
how do people, because and I'm guilty of it too. How do
All of
people,
us. Yeah.
empaths, n- not do that?
Not do that.
Yeah.
Yes. Um,
How can we
so
stop?
to me, absolutely. So to me, empathy is just a level of feel, right? So it's a level of feeling and you don't turn off your sensory. Like you can't not see. I mean, I guess you can cover your eyes or you can not hear. Same thing with not feeling, right? With feeling, you don't need to stop feeling or protect yourself from feeling. You want to feel again. Like just keep feeling, but when you start to feel things that come into your field that are not, that don't resonate or don't make sense, that's the most common. Like all of a sudden you'll be like, whoa, I have pain out of nowhere. I'm really sad. I don't know why. And then you're like, that's not making any sense for my life. So then it's hygiene to me. You have to catch it, notice it. And then with the body, the energetic body really, we catch things and keep the things that tend to kind of resonate closer to our own issues because we
Mm.
identify with them a little bit more. So some people are really strong and hold all the things, but we'll talk about that in a second. But most of the time, yeah, most of the time, once you catch it, you can actually just put your awareness on it, and then when we feel something like that, we can just kind of ask, is this mine? Is this my feeling? And when you ask your body that and it's not, it just diffuses. And that can be really interesting for humans who have had patterns for years that they picked up from their parents or things they identified with. When they start to understand that that was never theirs from the beginning, they just have recognized it as them and it goes away instantaneously. It's pretty exciting and a little scary because you start to kind of wonder, who am I without that part? Right.
Mm.
I think of it as hygiene. Honestly, it's just like washing your hands. You have to wash your feel, right? And the things that work really well for that are water, you know, sage, like fire, wind, all the elements work the best that I know for clearing things off the feeling realm. I also think, I guess, that oh, there's so much there. Let's see what I want to say. I think empathy is a solution, a collective evolution solution. So I think
Ooh,
having empathy will, you can imagine it's really challenging to be harmful to someone else when you feel everything they feel. Right.
yeah,
So most of us empaths are not going around harming humans. Like it's not the way that we function. We
yeah,
actually feel better when others feel better. And
yeah.
so this is, I think, an evolutionary way of humans to help connect with each other, not from a top down, but a connection at the heart level that will help all of us to start getting cleaned up around some of these heavy things that we bring into the world.
Oh, I love that. Collective evolution
Yeah.
solution. Yes. Yes.
Yes, that being the day-to-day experience is a little bit intense, right? So you
Yes.
feel being strongly empathic means you nearly always feel something and it's heavy, oftentimes painful. And what's really interesting when I work with empaths is what our natural state is. We don't actually feel like anything. We kind of feel like an open window or a sky, right? So when we come to our base feeling state, it's kind of like not having a feeling. It's like nothing. And that can be scary at first. It's like, "Woo, am I anything? Like, what am I?" But if you get into it, it's more like, "Oh, I'm unlimited," right? I'm
Yes.
I'm a potential. Yeah, and that feels clean and great, and then when you start to recognize that's what I feel like
Yes.
most, then you come back to that. It's like once you're clean, you go back to clean, right? You feel yourself coming back to that clean state. Oh, this is me. This is what I feel like when I'm clear and clean.
Oh.
Or go hug a tree. I mean, that almost always works. If you can't get it, go hold. And that you literally what I joke about is point it at something you want to feel, right? So even if
Mhm.
you're you just feel again. So if you're in any room, anywhere, the earth is under you. Or, walls feel great. They feel really neutral, right? So if you're feeling really bad, like feel the wall, feel a cup,
Yeah.
feel, of course, all the rocks, right? Feel your stones, feel things, feel a plant. Like those all feel great. So you can just point your feeling at what makes you feel good.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Those
Yeah.
you're describing in the world of psychiatry, those are grounding exercises, like how just bringing us back to center, and
Yes.
and really remembering, like, oh, bring us here in the present moment. Like I'm here. I'm not there. I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm here. Um,
Feel again. Don't get stuck. Yeah. It's when
yes,
we get stuck that things get dense. Yeah.
yeah. So you're blending intuition and just clinical rigor, clinical medicine. And for a long time, these things have been separate. The feel I'm getting is there's some sort of a vision, and I'm wondering
Mm.
for you because you're doing it now. You're like at the forefront, right? Like, how do you see them coexisting? And is there a possibility of them coming together in a
Yeah.
synergistic way?
Ooh, my vision is actually the only way that we could get to that is to change the entire system
Oh,
of it from person to person. I have found on a personal level that those two categories, medicine is very objective. Top down is the framework. So my job is to be empower over my person and also to have responsibility for them, and both of those things are the antithesis of healing, in my opinion. Okay.
wow.
So sometimes people do need a diagnosis. That's beautifully helpful to them. And doctoring can be extremely helpful and beautiful if it's in the right framework. I just don't think that healing is really a situation of empowering the person to their own um, capacity, decisions, choices, giving them their power back. And so I think that change has to come with what you're doing, right? Where we get together. I co-created household medicine with other doctors, and those to have us play with each other across diagnosis specialties and help the patients to connect in with their own knowing and intuition, and then engage us when needed. That is my vision for the way medicine works. So once a person has a trust in their own knowing and a trust in their choices, they still need help with the specialties and they still
Yes.
need help with knowing where to go, when to go, but they have a capacity to come back to trusting their own choices on it. And then as the doctors, we can help them choose that instead of telling them what to do. We can help them understand their variables and which one resonates most strongly with what they're needing to do.
Wow. Wow. Well, it is um this is really inspirational because it's very different from how things are practiced
It
right
is.
now. And you use the phrase household medicine. And I guess if you could define it just so a layperson could really, really
Yes.
understand.
What the heck? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, well, we came up with that phrase because we were thinking at the time that we wanted to be giving people awareness and education in order to become their own advocates going in to talk to their physicians, because we're not trying to be the physician for everyone, but we thought if they could understand the context of what they're dealing with, and then we can teach them how to not only be aware of how their own intuition works, but be able to do it in their own home, right? Household mystics was kind of where that came from. So
Mhm.
mystics are, the mystic is the process of bringing spirit into reality, bringing spirit into matter. And these householders, in the old version of the word, were ones that didn't become nuns and monks, they had to stay in the world. And I think right now, most of
Yeah.
us that are here trying to bring change and bring spiritual change through and evolve have a household. And so we're looking for those women, and often women, not always, sometimes all genders, uh that are kind of leading their family through this. They're leading them through this process, and we want to give them the understanding, the tools, and the leverage, empower them in their leverage to be able to bring their households where they want them to be taken care of. Give them the tools to navigate a system that's kind of challenging for them often to get there. That makes sense?
Yes, yes, yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah, so I guess can you elaborate a little bit on that? Like what tools can you give us an example of a tool that you would
absolutely.
give to someone who's coming and interested in household medicine?
I so one of my favorite tools is a really simple one. Ooh, so sometimes I get guidance, so excuse me. They're like, not that one. So why don't I will give you the other one.
Okay.
I was the listen up tool is the one I use most, but what I'm hearing is I need to use the other tool, which is I call it my I don't know if I'm allowed to use the term Family Feud. Do you know what Family Feud is? Are
Oh
you
yeah,
old enough to know?
the game show,
Yes.
right?
Okay.
Yes.
So yes, the game show. So I call it the fear and love game, and I really like this one. So when people
Interesting.
are afraid, what I have them do is notice their fear, and then the biggest part of this game is to notice it, catch it. I call it catching the fear and naming it. So when they start to have fear come up, to catch the fear and name it. So like I am afraid my, I'm afraid that the sun is going to create sunspots and make me crazy today or something, right?
Yes.
And so you catch the fear. And then the game that my guides have me play is to look up in the sky like there's the Family Feud billboard tiles up in the sky.
Yeah.
And so I take the fear, catch it, and then I go up. And I usually say love, but you can say survey says or whatever you like. I like to say love says, and then put my energy way up and like imagine those tiles ding and read what my intuition says about that fear. So
Interesting.
I know it's easier if you try it. So we maybe just let think of something little that might be something you're afraid of today. You don't have
Something
to
I'm
share it.
afraid of today. Um, all right, I'm thinking of it.
She's like, "Yay, good. Now you want it perfect. Okay. So then you want to just feel that fear. So you're like, I'm afraid of this.
You want me to name it? Or
No, you could
oh,
just name it in your head. You were up.
okay.
And now you want to go up and now take your energy and kind of imagine stretching up, and you're going to see the billboard in the sky. There you go. And then you're going to say, what would love say about this? So you're like, love says,
What would love
and
say?
see about this fear. Yeah. Or what is true? And go up, love says, and then watch it go ding and see what it says.
Yeah. Do you want
Did
me
you
to say
get
what it says? Or no?
I don't know. You don't
It's
have to
not
share.
something I
Did it
should
say
be worried.
anything?
Yeah, it said it's not something I should be worrying about.
Perfect. Okay. And the reason they play survey says is because you need more than one, right? So you
Yeah.
could go ding, and then the next one might be like, I've had like, if I ask about the sunspots, let's try that one. I'm afraid that I do sometimes get kind of headaches with sunspots and things. So
Yes.
I'm afraid I'm going to have sun reaction today. And
Yes.
I'll say, love says, And the first one I got was, "You might." And then the second one I got, ding, they just showed me like this power surge of energy running through my whole body, right?
Wow.
So it's always specific to the fear. And
I
that
love
particular, yeah, that's a catch the fear game.
I
Almost
love
all of my
that.
tools are games.
It's great for a lot, and I'm a psychiatrist, so I'm always thinking
Yeah.
of, like, what you're saying. But there's a type of therapeutic technique, acceptance commitment therapy, where you're putting distance between yourself and the fear. And
Yes,
this exercise kind of it does that because then you take a step back, you're like, and then you're less just entwined with that feeling.
exactly.
Oh, love it.
There is yeah, curiosity, if you can get to it, is amazing, and then, of course, if you get to play,
Yeah.
it's the biggest one for me because you just can't be serious and in pain while you're playing as much. You can have both, and that's the most effective union of healing that I've seen. When you can get really deep into the feeling of what's going on and
Yes.
also keep that perspective, loving perspective with yourself so that staying connected with it, connected with yourself, and then playing yourself through it. And that's where you things really transform.
Yeah, I mean, I love
Yeah.
this as a psychiatrist, I love this exercise-wise. It's like, it's not even just it's like what you said, putting distance between I mean, you're feeling it, you're naming it, you're learning
Mhm.
to not suppress
You have to
emotions.
accept it
Yeah,
first.
accept
Yeah.
it, name it, but then finding a way to, um, do something with that's lighthearted and that
Mhm.
raises just I mean, it brings about the spirit of joy or, like, fun. So I
Yeah.
love it. Yeah, thank you.
You're you're welcome. Our mind can't get us out of our mind very well. You
Yes.
know, Probably you're at the best level of that, but our spirit, intuition, it just kind of bypasses that. So if you can just leave it into an open space, sometimes what comes through there is so surprising that it just helps the mind, our beautiful minds, helps them to just be like, oh, there's something I didn't think of. And then they can kind of help us with getting ourselves back to a balance.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Earlier on, you had mentioned this movement that you have for household medicine. And you
Yes.
described different specialties collaborating, working
Yeah,
together. And, I'm in allopathic medicine, and it's rough out here. Like,
it is.
turf wars are real. And I
Yes,
wonder
they are.
if are there things that we can do as practitioners to come together? What are your thoughts?
Yes. Well, our vision with this, originally we tried to do what all doctors do. I think that the 3 women doctors I worked with, we all took responsibility for everything and we tried to do it all ourselves.
Yeah.
And now we're looking at that like, no, that's not our vision, right? Our vision is not to pick up and carry everything. And then I think the competition in medicine comes from I think it comes from big hearts and responsibility, like
Mhm.
feeling responsible for our patients and being responsible for getting it right in a situation that's almost nearly impossible, you know, to do. And so the household medicine idea now is like, let's just offer people, you know, we're going to be showcasing next year, showcasing different providers,
Okay.
showcasing and energy medicine providers is where we're starting, right? So
Yeah.
this is qigong and how it would apply to perimenopause, or this is field tuning, and biofield tuning does a great job with pain or with integrating ancestral patterns. So there. That we're going to be covering subjects. We'll be covering more basic subjects next year, like the windows of health is what I call them, but different aspects of health. So we educate people on different health viewpoints, and then how the different providers can come in and help exploring different types of therapies that work because there are so many. And
Yeah.
what I have found with people is I can know as a doctor exactly all the things I think this person needs, but when I listen to them and I listen to their guidance, it sometimes has nothing to do with that. Like I had one yesterday, like she's
Yeah.
having ocular migraines, and we sat down with it, and it was geopathic stress. Like, someone was digging her hill next to her house out with a backhoe, and her body started having these reactions because the earth was being damaged next to her home. That,
Interesting.
as a doctor, I wouldn't have asked that. Like, I would be still trying to figure out what's wrong with her nervous system. But it's so much easier when the person knows that, and when they can tap into their own and say, oh, that's it. It did start right as that backhoe started coming in to my property, right? That variable, and then what do we do with that? She needs crystals. Like, that wasn't exactly what I was thinking going in, but she
Yeah.
holds one particular amethyst and her headache went away. So
Yeah.
there are too many variables for us to handle them all. And so I think having us come together and listen and then have each other as resources so that we collaboratively
Yeah.
balance is kind of the vision we have, and giving the power back to the individual. Again, I know I've said that about 12 times, but
No, it needs to be, but hold on. Who
yeah.
else is saying, let's be real, like, who else is saying it?
Well, it
Mm,
doesn't it doesn't it doesn't make a lot of sense financially often. It doesn't fit into the model of what we're dealing with in medicine. And so but it is a fairly extractive model. um and it is at least I get reimbursed more if my patients get sicker, which has never been good for me and has been very challenging for me to stay inside of insurance. I've had to come out of that. Many of the parts of our system are just not designed to empower a person to health. They're designed to fight illness, and
mm,
in particular to fight death and discomfort, in my opinion, instead of actually helping them to understand the health variables and how to move forward with those.
wow. This is, oh, I,
So,
um,
I think we need each other is the short answer. I think because I know that the more of us that get together with this, the better it gets. It's
yeah,
challenging. Humans are challenging, as you know, and sometimes relationship dynamics come up. But I do think, unless we do it together, I just don't see how it would shift the whole thing.
beautiful. There is power in coming together. I
Yes.
love it. I love the mission. I love the movement. And I know that our audience is going to want to connect with you. They're going to be looking for you. So
Great.
tell us, how do they
Yeah.
get in contact with
Yes. So the easiest way is just my website, which is my name, draubreywallace.com. That has my different offerings. I do online medical intuitive readings all the time. If they want to see me in office, that's only in Seattle at Tummy Temple. And I'm sorry, we've just changed the name to Temple Health
you?
Natural Medicine. That was this week. So
Yeah.
they've been Tummy Temple for 20 years and now, but we're moving into Temple Health there. So looking for Temple Health Natural Medicine, all of it's on the website.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. It's been
And
an,
household medicine is also there. Excuse me.
oh
Don't
yeah, yeah, yeah.
leave that one out. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
Too
check
many
in.
hats. Yeah.
No,
Yes.
Allison, go see her.
Thank you.
She is an amazing medical intuitive physician. Just like she's rare. So if you can, just go see her. They're like I said, I looked. I looked,
Yeah.
and she's at the forefront of where I think
Thank
medicine is going, and just really looking at the whole person and doing so in a way that really speaks to the heart and soul of who we are. Dr. Aubrey Wallace, it was an
thank
honor
you.
to have you on the show. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, doctor.
You're welcome.
I look forward to playing in the future.
Oh, me too. Me too. If you haven't heard it yet today, I appreciate you. The soul in me honors the soul in you. If you'd like to see more episodes like this, please subscribe or click here. And friends, if this spoke to you, leave a comment below. We would love to hear from you.